Yo, welcome back to the J&E Comic Cast. We are episode 65,
65.
and we are on a new setup.
It's a little bit different for us.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, little new setup. Tell us how you guys think about it. Like, how do you guys like the camera angle? I know don't mention the picture. I gotta get that fixed still.
That's been like that for like the last 20 episodes. You know, it actually might stay like that.
It's the J&E Comic Cast.
It's I don't know why I like doing this, right? Just pointing at it. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
tickle,
I don't know.
Tickle.
But me and Egg are back in the studio. Bring you guys. You good? Bring you guys more new episode for episode 65. We got Star Wars Andor. If you guys didn't know, last week, unfortunately, me and Egg were out power for about a week, and we were unable to film.
And on internet too, because that's important.
Yeah, so we were unable to film and record or anything. If you guys didn't know, Hurricane Irene. Ian?
Yeah, I don't know who Irene is, bro.
I don't know. Ian came by and wrecked our day or a week.
Yeah, we're in Florida, so if you guys don't know, we're recording from Florida in Florida. So
all those people there that got affected, we know how you guys feel. We're sorry.
Thoughts and prayers are with you guys.
Yeah, all that. But we are back for a little bit of Star Wars Andor, a little bit of She-Hulk, and we got a Black Panther new trailer.
Brand new, hot off the press.
And also, as you guys know, we film on Fridays. So we know this Sunday coming up, when this episode's dropping, is Comic-Con in New York. So all the stuff that drops out there, if anything good comes out, we definitely going to bring that to you guys for next week. So stay tuned for that. But, Egg, you ready to get into this episode
Let's do it, my boy. Let's do it.
Episode 65. So Star Wars Andor. How are you feeling about the show? What's your thoughts, your opinions? What is it all about?
We've had 5 episodes now. I'll be really honest. I was having a conversation today in regards to Andor. And I know at first I was very against the show. I didn't think there was a need for the show. And I will say that I do wish that Disney, I still kind of feel like that in a sense, and I'll explain why. I feel like that because I feel like Disney keeps going back to the same old formula when it comes to Star Wars, which is basically them continuing to give us stories that have to do with like anything and everything after episode 3 of Star Wars or anything have to do with Clone Wars and after. I think that's the best way to put it. And it would be cool if we would have gotten like a story set in some other time period. You know what I mean? I think it would have been interesting. But outside of that, all in all, I think the show is doing things right. I think they're doing the right things with the show. They're building up this world. They're building things up they're building up things up story wise. The characters are interesting. They're fresh. I'm really excited for it, and it has the potential to be something really good. And I wish that what they did with this show, the same attention that they gave to this show, they would have given to Obi-Wan, because even though I loved and enjoyed Obi-Wan could have been better had we had more time to sit with the character, had the story had more time to kind of be fleshed out, and yeah. So I'm really like all that to say, I'm really liking the show. I think the show has a lot of promise, and I'm really excited for what's to come in these next episodes. What about you, Jay?
I'm quite opposite with the show at the moment. I haven't gotten drawn in. I think I'm like struggling to see like the point of it. I guess I think because it's like Rogue One happened. We got Rogue One led into New Hope. What's the point of this? Almost like it almost feels like Disney is using it just to make more money, and it's nothing big for story. It's nothing big for like. There's nothing like that draws your attention. Like, oh my gosh, I I'm looking forward to the next episode. And I think that's what Disney is failing at with many of their TV shows. There's nothing that draws you in. Their shows have been a they've been a letdown. I think they're so big on making these creative movies, storytelling movies, 2 hours to 3 hour movies, that when they're trying to make a show and they're making hour long episodes, well, like 40 to like 30-minute episodes, I think it's way too much that they're trying to bring out in one episode, that it like draws away from the whole point. Like, I feel like there's just so much happening that it it doesn't make sense. So I felt that way. Well, we're gonna get into it with She-Hulk later, but I feel that way with Andor. Obi-Wan I really enjoyed, but I'm a big Obi-Wan fan, a big Anakin fan, a big Darth Vader fan. So that show I was really excited for. So that's something that did draw me. Moon Knight was really good. They started off good with their shows, but now it's just been like, this is something, it's gonna sell, and this is something, it might sell, and it's just
Yeah,
been tanking. Like, I think since what was after before Miss Marvel, was it Moon Knight?
yes.
Excuse me.
Moon Knight was before Miss Marvel.
So after Moon Knight, nothing has been really draw you in and good, other than like Obi-Wan. But even then, Obi-Wan, I think what saved it was the getting them to fight again scene. Saved it a lot.
Yeah, I feel
But
like
it
Obi-Wan.
wasn't nothing that like drawed you like, this is amazing.
Yeah, and we were talking about Obi-Wan, we were talking about Andor, but I do agree with you. I feel like like I said, I feel like if they would have fleshed out Obi-Wan, maybe given us 8 or 10 episodes, I think that I think we would have been a lot happier with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that we're not happy with Obi-Wan or we don't love the Obi-Wan show, because I thought it was incredible, and I really enjoyed the show, and it's something that I still watch clips for almost on a weekly basis. But I do agree. I do think that they're just pumping stuff out, and I think they need to slow down a little bit and give us more and give us more better quality stuff and more time to sit with some of these things. And you and I were having this conversation today. I think Phase 4 ends with the Black Panther movie, which we're gonna get into that a little bit later in the podcast. But Phase 4 for them, I know we're kind of jumping ship here, and we'll talk about She-Hulk also in a second. Phase 4 for them has not been as strong as the previous phases. I feel like we have Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, and Moon Knight, and I feel like
I would
everything
throw
else.
Thor in
What?
there. I would throw Thor in there for
Yeah, I
myself.
wouldn't.
But I love Thor.
Yeah, I know you did. It's like I said. I'm not saying Thor is bad, but it doesn't come in the same categories as those three things that I mentioned. As far as
They started off strong.
and I think that's considered Phase 4 Loki and WandaVision, which I think Loki and WandaVision were also really good. But I feel like those are the top three things that we got in Phase 4, and I feel like everything else has either been rushed or hasn't been up to Marvel standard. And speaking of stuff like that, we've since we've last been on the podcast, we've gotten 2 episodes of She-Hulk. The episode last week was basically a filler episode. Everybody was expecting to see Daredevil. We didn't get him then. We got him this episode.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. So the penultimate episode for the season.
What did you think about? What do you give Andor on a rating before we get into all that?
Oh,
Out of curiosity.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel like it's building, and I feel like it has a potential to go higher than that.
I feel like I agree that it has a potential to go higher, but I would have to give it a 6 now. It's just like a little above average. I love the graphics. Opening scene and the story development was really good starting off, but now it's just slowly digressing, but I'm hoping it picks up soon. So I think it's just a little above average. There was nothing too big in this episode that came out.
No, it was all set up.
Yeah, it was pretty much just set up. It was a filler
Same thing from last
episode.
week too.
Yeah. So that's what's like getting a little frustrating. But yeah, I would say 6 out of 10 for me, and you say 7 out of 10. So
Yeah, that's pretty fair. So back to She-Hulk. So we got Daredevil this episode. Finally, after basically expecting him all season because he's popped up in the trailers. Just what did you think about the Daredevil reveal? What did you think of how they're portraying the character, and what did you think of the episode overall? So let's go start from the beginning. What do you think of Daredevil reveal?
The Daredevil reveal, I think it was. They hyped it up for a big letdown, in a sense where I expected something more, and I expected a lot more from him because he was so much in the trailers, and this was something that they were hyping up, like, oh, Daredevil's returning, like, you gotta check it out. And he comes out as the lawyer for She-Hulk's designer, defending him, and then they're facing Leapfrog, the villain, which I was like, I want to end myself.
Yeah,
It was rough on another level.
okay, but overall, what do you feel about? I'm over here playing with see it moving on screen. What do you feel about Disney's portrayal of Daredevil? Do you feel like it was accurate to what we got from Netflix? Do you feel like it was weaker? Do you feel like it was stronger?
I think they try to make him more, I guess, kid friendly than what Netflix was doing previously, when they were trying to make him more like teen and adult friendly. So I think that's something that's going to be getting used to. I didn't mind it too much because I am a big fan of Charlie Cox. I think he does really well as portraying Daredevil, and I think we saw that on this episode of She-Hulk, that he did a really he brought back Daredevil. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, when he did the Walk of Shame, had me dying laughing.
That was hilarious.
That legitimately had me
I was like
dying
okay,
in the suit too. Had me dying laughing.
Where credit is due.
I hope to see more of him, either in the MCU itself, not just a hey, look, Daredevil's here. Okay, we're never gonna see him again.
We know we're getting a show of his Daredevil Born Again at some point.
Yeah, but I would like to I was hoping that would have been like a connection of, hey, this is a little sneak peek of what we're gonna get out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel that. It was just like, he's there and now he's gone.
It's fair enough. So overall, what would you give the episode? And
honestly,
what would you give She-Hulk overall as a whole?
She-Hulk overall a 4. And that episode probably a 3 to 4.5.
What do you think about how the episode plays out to the overall story of She-Hulk?
So it's pretty much they're trying to damage her image. So that's pretty much what the storyline is telling us with the 8 episodes they had released, that they're pretty much just attacking her image, which I don't have like an issue with that, in a sense where they're trying to make a story out of it. But I feel like it's just so boring. Like, it's so boring. Like, we see her just dealing with the same problem, being a lawyer, and then after that, dealing with being She-Hulk. But there's no development in story. There's no development in something more. It's just like it's almost like a origin story that's on repeat of the first episode or the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, to go into it, I was excited to see Daredevil as well. I do feel like they portrayed him a little bit more kid friendly, which was a little bit disappointing. He had some very funny scenes in the episode. It was cool to kind of see him do some work, but I would have liked to see him more along I would like to have seen him in more along something a little bit more serious, like the Netflix version of the show was. The overall story of the show, with what's going on with her and Intelligentsia, whatever they're called, I thought that was very interesting. You know what I mean? To see her in the way they're trying to set her up, and that made me feel bad for the character. So I think that's something good that the show did. Overall, I had a hard time, and I was having a conversation too as well, with Keith. I had a hard time grappling with the show and my feelings towards it because I wanted to really like the show, and I felt like it wasn't going there because I felt like it did have some fun parts and some things that haven't been working for me. But looking at the show, and I think it's because Marvel has kind of spoiled us. Marvel has with everything that they've shown us, they've given us like an overall story arc with every single show that we've gotten, or a way for the show to play into the greater MCU. And with She-Hulk, it hasn't. With She-Hulk, it's been a lot of these self-contained episodes with maybe something small leaking out into other episodes, and I think that like when you're looking at She-Hulk, comparing it to other things, it's always gonna come up short because it's not doing anything to like expand like the narrative or create like this big picture. But if you just look at the show for what it is, for an entertaining show that's on a weekly basis gonna deliver some laughs and have a self-contained funny story, then I think the show's actually pretty good. Other than how they handled Daredevil with him being a little bit lighter, I actually enjoyed the episode. I thought the episode was actually interesting. A lot better for me than last episode, which I thought last episode had its funny moments as well, but just wasn't doing it. So if I overall had to give the show something, I think I'd give the show like a 6.5. We'll see what happens with episode 8, and we'll see how it ties into the greater MCU. I'm hoping that they do a good job, ending the show on a strong note, or at least stronger than what they ended Miss Marvel, which I thought I enjoyed Miss Marvel as well, but I felt like the last episode was kind of weak. So I'm looking forward to this next episode. I'd give the sixth episode a 7, and I give the show overall 6.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in agreement with you. I feel like they should have just. I think they're just trying to sell. And this is Disney's fault. And this is why I can understand one of our frequent watchers and viewers. Shout out One Fish. I have to agree with you now that I feel like
what's a sign for fish?
Fish.
One
fish. I have to I have to agree with you on a sense where I could see why you have a very dislike with Disney and a hatred towards Disney, because it's a money game, but they're ruining a lot of things. Like, to me, they kind of ruined Marvel a little bit now with this phase. Like, I almost have like a, bro, if you release another show, I might not watch it. Like, it's like,
they also made Marvel, so do we trust them to correct their?
but I'm talking about like their like Disney Plus has ruined Marvel. Better said, when they came out with Disney Plus and they were trying to get more people to do Disney Plus, they started making TV shows. They hands down they're doing it. They're killing it in the movie game. Like, they're doing well with movies, but the TV shows all have been very poor. I wouldn't say all, but most of them have been very, very poor. And then same thing with like the Star Wars. They're killing it with the movies, but they can't get TV shows right.
Well, I mean, I think Star Wars is a little bit different because they finished Clone Wars, right? Which I think Clone Wars was very well received.
Yeah.
We got The Mandalorian, which everybody loves. They did terrible with the Boba Fett show.
Yeah.
And Rebel, what's the name of the show? Rebels? Not Rebels. Star Wars.
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Which I think is also well reviewed. So I do.
That one did well.
They've been doing a little bit better with the Star Wars stuff than they have with the Marvel shows overall. So
I don't know. But I think a lot of their stuff that, other than like Mandalorian, a lot of their stuff that has been good has been like more their animated side, like cartoon stuff. Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels, all that has been mostly their animated stuff.
You know what they need to do? They need to talk to DC, help DC make great movies overall consistently.
Yeah, DC's movies.
And
other than the Batman movie, I loved.
And then have DC help them on the show side.
Yeah, DC do really well with their shows. Like, I know we're not talking too much about DC, but I've been rewatching Young Justice again, and
Best Man and Young Justice.
That's
I thought
that's my
about the other
show.
day because I was on Facebook and somebody was out there trying to get people to sign a petition to make sure that
Season 6,
that season 6 of Young Justice
bro.
goes
That
on.
show is top tier, bro.
I gotta watch
But
it, man. I gotta watch it.
Not talking about DC this week. We got more Marvel stuff. Let's get into the Black Panther. Hopefully this is good. We're gonna actually watch the trailer. This is my second time watching this trailer.
This is my second time as well, but my first time really sitting with it, not in a rush, not doing work stuff.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
really,
we definitely have some stuff to talk about that I caught in the previous one, but let's see if we caught more things. Let's check it out.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike. Show them who we are.
Let's go.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Boss, and this is a breakdown of every.
Copyright.
Yeah, that's not
That
what
wasn't
we're
us.
trying to do
No,
there.
that's not what we about. We don't who that. It just autoplayed. Yo, that trailer looking good.
You know what, man? We got some pretty cool shots of Namor, which I think was one of the things I think a lot of people want to see after the first trailer.
Yeah.
The shot where he's kind of flying with the feet on his wings, and there's a shot that he's kind of like skipping through the air. Almost, I thought the shot was so cool. I like the whole thing where M'Baku was talking about calling him I don't know, I didn't want to repeat what he said because it sounds like something else. But the whole feathered serpent thing, you know what I mean, kind of adds like a more of like a lore, like a mystery.
Yeah.
Like you gotta respect this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You called him what? Feathered serpent, right?
Was it a feather serpent?
Feathered serpent or feathered god? One of
Yeah.
the two.
I
dig the whole Aztec vibes. I know a lot of people don't, but I really like that. They did
Yeah.
that.
Do you think they're gonna kill off T'Challa?
Oh, bro, that's a definite, man.
That's
The whole shot with them
Crying
dancing in
is-
white and crying, that has to be at the funeral scene. He's
But like, do you think like they're gonna make it like Neymar killed them or something like that?
no way. I don't think so.
Like, how do you think they're gonna kill him off?
I think he's gonna die of sickness.
That's what do you think they're gonna make it?
Yeah, can you imagine if they have a scene, of Namor killing T'Challa? Like, I think everybody riots.
I mean,
I think that's so disrespectful.
it could be.
Not it could be. I'm telling you, it is.
Okay.
I'm confirming.
But obviously we kind of know now it's his sister taking over the mantle.
I'm slightly disappointed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I really wanted, and this is gonna sound wild, but I really wanted them to bring Killmonger back, and I think it's because I personally find Killmonger to be such an interesting character. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those characters that, like, when you hear him, you all right?
Yeah, I'm chilling. Just
that's
fixing my
the
hair.
headphones. He's one of those characters that when you watch, like when he's describing like what his goals are, you're like, yo, you know what, man? Like, this man might be speaking some kind of facts. You know what I mean?
I think that's only you.
No, he basically wanted. He said, yo, I'm gonna give weapons to all my people that are enslaved, right? If I remember correctly, and oppressed, and help them go against their oppressors. You know what I mean? And free his people. And I'm like, yo, you know what, man? Like, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? The way he was doing
it?
He what?
You back it?
I don't want to fully back it because he was fully radicalized and extremely violent, and I'm not about that life. But I guess his intentions were pure. You know what I mean?
He has a good heart.
Yeah, he has a. There's some good in his heart. You know what I mean?
He has a great heart.
He's one of those people though that's like that. Have you heard the phrase, "The end justifies the means"? Mm-hmm. So whatever he had to do to get to that particular point, he doesn't care, and I think that's kind of like
he's an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's kind of like, you know, he's kind of like Thanos in that sense too. Thanos is like, yo, I want the universe to prosper, but for me to do it, I'm gonna have to kill off half of everybody.
That's like 6 billion people.
And you're like, that's like 3 billion people on Earth. And at first you're like, oh, Thanos, you want the universe to prosper? That sounds really good. And you're like, yeah. And
he just made a genocide.
And he's like, everybody has to die. And you're like, oh, okay, no, that's not cool, bro.
you did have your thumbs
You're like, yeah.
What?
Oh no, Thanos, okay. Come on, chill out.
I think you're the only one here.
No, people.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's only right if the next bloodline takes over the mantle, if that's the way they go with it. So I think
to the comics, but I would like to see Killmonger.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool thing. I'm looking forward to seeing Ironheart. Yeah, that's gonna be sick. That's gonna be sick.
Her suit looks sick. It reminded me, and those of you that watch Gundam, any kind of Gundam, it reminded me of one of their suits with the way the kind of feet rockets kind of set up. So I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So yeah, the trailer was amazing. The stories, the cinematography is gonna be amazing on that.
That's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, and I love their use of music on the first trailer and on this trailer. You know,
so we are definitely looking forward to watching that movie, bro. Yeah, I really want to see it.
I'm hyped.
I kind of want to see it in 4D. They have 4D theaters here in Florida.
4D would be insane.
4D would be.
I think it's one of those movies that I think warrants a 4D.
Yeah.
I'm going to Target and buy me my Panther claws too.
You're like,
they start scratching people in the movie theater. Get arrested for assault.
But yeah, the movie's gonna be amazing. Looking forward to everything. The cinematography. Hopefully this is
strong.
Yeah, a good ending for Phase 4 and see what they're gonna develop in the future.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, man. Hopefully they can end Phase 4 strong and give us hope for what's to come next. There's rumors that we might get Doctor Doom at the end of this movie somehow, which I think would be insane.
Doctor Doom would be sick. They have to bring something out. I just punched my desk.
Okay, Josiah. You Doctor Doom, or you
Fantastic Four would be sick.
It would be cool too to see another shot at Kang before we. Actually, no, I do think that the Ant-Man and the Wasp is the end of Phase 4. So sorry. So this I think Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 is the end of Phase 4.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Quantum Mania.
Is it Quantum Mania?
I think that's what it's called.
I think Quantum Leap is a show.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know what? I think you're right. It does sound about right.
I thought it was Ant-Man Quantum Mania. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Now you're just tired, my boy. That 12 hours work day has you all kind of messed up in the head.
Oh.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you guys, all the love and support. We should be back hopefully near Comic-Con. Drop some fire stuff for us, so we can have it for you guys next week.
Yeah.
So,
Comic-Con.
So stay posted for that. We'll see you guys then next week. Next week, same channel, same place, same time. J and U, we are signing out. Peace.
Catch you guys later.